Today, India is the fourth largest trading partner for Africa with a bilateral trade of about 84 billion US dollars and cumulative investments for more than 75 billion US dollars.
Today, India stands as the fourth largest trading partner for Africa, engaging in bilateral trade worth around 84 billion US dollars, with cumulative investments exceeding 75 billion US dollars. It's late evening in Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso. The city is quiet, but inside the presidential palace, lights still burn bright. At the heart of the room sits a 36-year-old leader, a man who has stunned the world with his rapid rise, bold defiance, and visionary ambition. Ibrahim leans forward, surrounded by maps, oil contracts, and mining reports. On one side sit his ministers. On the other, Indian envoys flown in for a confidential meeting. The deal on the table could reshape West Africa's future. Ibrahim's question is clear but powerful. Why should Burkina Faso remain a landlocked country when it can become India's gateway to an entire continent? This question is redrawing alliances, rewriting Africa's power map, and pulling India into a game traditionally dominated by China, France, and Russia. But how does this young army captain plan to achieve this bold vision? And why is India suddenly central to his ambitions? To understand this, we must first delve into who Ibrahim really is and why many underestimated him. Not long ago, Ibrahim was barely known outside his regiment. He wasn't a career politician or part of the ruling elite, nor a leader expected to disrupt geopolitics. Yet in 2022, when he marched into Ouagadougou to seize power, the streets filled with crowds cheering him as a revolutionary hero. What set him apart wasn't just his age. He was the youngest head of state in the world then, but his unapologetic defiance of the old order. While other leaders hesitated to challenge France's long shadow over West Africa, Ibrahim tore it down. He expelled French troops, ended French influence, and charted a new path focused on sovereignty, independence, and strategic partnerships beyond colonial ties. But Ibrahim wasn't reckless. He knew Burkina Faso, one of the world's poorest countries, couldn't stand alone against global powers. He needed allies, and he needed them fast. Russia was one, with a growing footprint in Africa, but his eyes quietly looked east toward India. This was more than strategy. It was vision. India, the rising giant of Asia, linked directly to Africa's resources and youth, could open doors bigger than China or Europe ever imagined. Why India? Why not lean fully on Russia or China, who already have deeper ties in the region? The answer lies in Burkina Faso's geography, something many outsiders miss. At first glance, Burkina Faso isn't a gateway. It's landlocked, surrounded by neighbors with no coastline. Analysts dismissed it as trapped, dependent on countries like Ghana, Côte d'Ivoire, or Togo for port access. But Ibrahim sees a bridge. To the west lies gold-rich Mali. To the east, Niger with uranium and oil. To the south, Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire, with ports opening to the Atlantic. Burkina Faso sits at the crossroads of West Africa's resources and trade routes. Whoever controls these links can shape commerce and energy flows across the region. India understands this dot as one of the fastest growing economies. India needs raw materials, uranium for nuclear energy, manganese for steel, gold for reserves, and above all, access to Africa's 1.4 billion consumers. Anchoring in Burkina Faso would let India extend influence across the region, bypassing China's Belt and Road and Europe's fading grip. For Burkina Faso, this means shedding its landlocked status, becoming landlinked instead. But bold maps mean little without infrastructure. And that's Ibrahim's next challenge. Roads are poor, railways limited, power grids unstable. To become India's gateway, Burkina Faso must build fast. Here, India's expertise shines. Over 2 decades, India has built railways, power projects, and connectivity across Africa, from Mozambique to Sudan. Ibrahim plans to bring Indian engineers and investors to transform his country. Planned. Projects include a new rail line linking Ouagadougou to Tema Port in Ghana, upgraded highways to Côte d'Ivoire, and Indian-backed solar farms. His government even envisions a trans-Sahelian corridor stretching from the Atlantic deep into Africa, with Burkina Faso at its heart. But infrastructure isn't just physical. Digital connectivity, fiber optics, data centers, fintech links could make Burkina Faso a financial hub too. With India's booming IT sector, the partnership could fuse Africa's resources with Asia's digital know-how. Yet financing such big projects attracts rivals. Inside Burkina Faso, insurgencies threaten stability. Armed groups in the Sahel could derail construction and scare away investors. Globally, powers watch closely. France, once dominant, is furious to be sidelined. China, huge investor in Africa, doesn't want India encroaching. Even Russia, a friend, may not welcome competition. Still, Ibrahim remains unfazed. His message to his people is clear: sovereignty above all. Burkina Faso will no longer bow to old powers, no matter the cost. But sovereignty doesn't mean isolation. It means choosing partners as equals. And that's where India fits in. India carries no colonial baggage in Africa. Unlike China or Russia, it doesn't demand political alignment. Instead, it offers technology, investment, and partnership without occupation. Still, the India-Burkina Faso alliance carries risks. For this gateway to work, India must commit militarily, economically, and politically, something New Delhi has been cautious about but may soon change. Why risk the volatile Sahel? Because India races to secure resources for its growing economy and seeks allies in the global south to counterbalance China-Africa is key. And Burkina Faso offers a unique chance. A leader placing India at the core of his national strategy. Indian companies already have footholds in West Africa, pharmaceuticals, telecoms, but now priority access to mining, infrastructure partnerships, and training. For Burkina Faso, this means investment, legitimacy, and hope for a brighter future. For India, a stepping stone into Africa's vast markets. For the world, it signals a new era where the global south shapes its own destiny. Whether Ibrahim's vision becomes reality depends on roads yet built, deals signed, and risks faced. One thing's sure, Burkina Faso is no longer invisible on the global map. Ibrahim has made certain of that.